Good evening. Welcome to my next episode of Principles of Leadership. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. We at SHA Data University help freshers and professionals to build their career to become leader in database technology. And we are committed to help 1 million candidates to their right career path. To continue, let us welcome my guest today, Manisha Dhar. She is a wife of Narayana School and she is also a certified career coach. So, without wasting time, let's call her on board. Good evening, Manisha.
Yeah, good evening, Sanjay. Good evening, all of you. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine. So, welcome to my talk show.
Thank you so
Before we
much.
start, yeah, I'd like to know about your journey to become a leader in this pioneer field.
First of all, thank you so much for including me in your talk show. It's my pleasure to be a part of it. Um, Regarding my journey, at present, I'm serving as an administrator in Narayana schools. But then long back when I was in school, I was really inspired by my teachers. I remember Varsha Malik ma'am. She was my Hindi teacher in class 5. She was very smart, and the way she used to interact and carry on with the classes, I feel that was one of the reason that I was influenced, and I made up my mind that yes, I will be a teacher like her. I carried on taking the science in the senior secondary level. And then, as I aimed to be a teacher, I enlisted myself in the Regional Institute of Education. I stayed in hostel for 4 years. That's an integrated 4 years BSc B.Ed course. That was the learning process that I began with, and I stayed in hostel. I learned so many new things. I met with people with various part of India. I had so many friends across all the different parts of India. I learned so many different languages also. Um,
Great.
After completing my BSc B.Ed, I was planning for my masters. Um, I completed my master's in zoology from Chennai. 2 years I completed that, and after that, I just started. As I had my BA degree, I started as a teacher, as a primary teacher. I used to take
Right.
classes in class 3 and 4.
Okay.
There I worked for a few days. I interacted with the students, and I found and I felt actually that I was really very happy. Unless and until you are happy with your profession, you really cannot proceed and progress in that.
Exactly.
And continuing with that, for about few months, I got into, as I was a student of Kendra Vidyalaya. I was going through certain interviews and all, and at that time I got the privilege to work under my teacher Sheila Mitra ma'am. She was our English teacher in our school.
Great.
So she was the principal of Kendra Vidyalaya Ichhapur, here nearby school, and I worked under her as a primary teacher there. Being with students of class 1, they were so small, but interacting with them was really great fun. When I
Yeah.
look back to those days, it really gives me immense pleasure and happiness. I don't know where those children are now, how old they have grown up, but then it was really a great pleasure. Continuing like this, I entered into, as I said, that I was looking forward for more or less growth. And then I joined into a secondary school.
Okay.
That was an ICSC school, senior secondary school again, This is long back 2000. In 2000, when I joined the school, this is a school in my nearby place. That started actually. I started my teaching career there. I grew with the school. We helped in making all the teachers there. We were almost freshers, and we participated in helping the school grow with each and every year. New students coming up, growing. I'm actually, I didn't mention my subject is biology actually. So
Okay.
we helped grow the biology lab. The new specimen came up, and the science exhibitions came up. Science quiz, all these added up to my years. And there I spent almost 2 decades, in that
Right.
school. So that is a long memory, and so many students each and every year we interacted. And I'm really very happy to say that I'm still connected with many of them. All right. There, as I said, about for 2 decades I worked there. In between, I completed my second master's also, and that was in environmental education.
Okay. Yeah.
Along with this, slowly, I thought that, like as I learned, I got to learn so many things about schooling, about the school administration, about students, how to grow up with the school and grow the school. All this thing, I also pursued my masters in education also. So
Okay.
from there, I felt that maybe I should look forward to an administrator. I mean, from the teacher, I should look forward to an administrator role. And then I started looking forward for a better role, and like I was taken in the as an administrator role as vice principal in the Narayana schools, where I joined recently, few months. I'm there, but then again here, as I'm getting to know each and every day, I'm learning so many new things, interacting with the students, with parents, with my teachers and colleagues. And I can really feel that learning is an ever ending. I mean, it never ends, it continues
No.
and goes on and on and on. As long as you have the spirit of learning, you can keep growing yourself. You can really grow rich in learning.
Right. So
That's it.
thank you for your journey. You have started from scratch, and yes, you have reached a position. Great, man. Okay. And
Thank
yes,
you.
of course, if you have got a passion, then you can do it. That is the thing. So, Manisha, as I want to know, like, what are the principles? Since now you are an administrator, that means you are leading the team of your. What are the principles that you follow to maintain your leadership?
Regarding this, various aspects, that we should keep in mind, and that I have learned all these years, that a leader cannot progress without a team. It's always a we and never an I. As
Yeah.
if we feel that yes, I am a leader and I will lead the role and I will do this with my team. No, we have to be with the team and the team following you. And unless and until we develop certain characteristics, rather we say that some amiable features that pleases your team, so we cannot grow as a group. And it's always a group activity, it's always a team. This I have always been believing, that it's always about we and never I. So
Exactly.
regarding this, like we know that when we suppose an example I just want to cite here, like when we make a monitor in the class, being a teacher, we want to make a monitor in the class, and we think about the most notorious student, that will be
Right.
the monitor of the class.
Right.
Why?
Right. Right.
The reason is he will be able to channelize the other students. He will be
Right.
using his energy there, his intelligence there, and make the class listen to him, make the class follow him, and then carry on with the discipline of the class.
Right.
So
And
that
he will basically become the responsible.
Yes,
for
yes,
that.
yes. He will lead means he will be responsible for each and every activity of the student, or else he knows that he will be caught. So there,
Yes,
like a very small and simple example like this, we can say that when we are working as a team, it's a group work. We are able to attain the goal, and the goal set is always necessary. So we need to focus on what our goal is, and then work as a team, divide the task to each and every. We know that the pros and cons of the members of a unit, of a team, and as per that, we can we can trust on each and every. And like another thing is that trust is also very important in a
yes,
teamwork. We
definitely.
need to believe on each other, or else we cannot succeed, right? So as a leader, any person need to be a very active listener, to listen
Uh,
to the members of the team. Also, when he's planning something, he or she must have in his mind that what are the points that I'm planning to work with, who will be the responsible person following that. So equal task must be divided to each and every member to get the set goal. That's
right.
it.
Yes. Okay. So now there are many freshers and professionals. They want to become the leader in their respective domains. So, what will be your suggestions to them to become the leader, to become succeed in their career? Since you are a certified career coach, also.
um, Whenever we think about this, as you said, certain points we need to keep in mind. Communication, the art of communication, that's very important.
Yes.
Art of communication is very important, and one has to be a very good listener. We need to be a very, and this goes for with everybody. Like one has to be a very good listener, and unless and until you are sitting and listening to the person on the other side of the table, you won't be able to conclude on something. So that I feel is very important. And a leader must always be very much appreciative.
Right.
The team members must be felt, they must feel that they are appreciated at every level they are working. That will energize them to
To
work
motivate
better.
them, they will be
Yes,
motivated. Like
more
whenever we are
motivated.
doing anything and my leader is appreciating me,
Yes,
they
yes.
are motivated.
Yes, a few words of motivation helps will help them to a greater extent. So that is
Right.
very much needed. Also, like each and every person is having some pros and cons, but then we should always avoid the negativity and come up with the positiveness of the person. Each
Yes.
and every
Very.
person is filled with so many positive things, which I feel, and we should learn to appreciate that in our daily phase of life also. The negatives may not be pointed out, but then we can really curb them down and come up with some of the other ways how we can utilize them to build our personality stronger. Another
Right.
important thing which I feel is the mutual respect is very much necessary. Mutual
Yes.
respect is very much necessary. Like if the leader keeps on saying, it is I who have done this, it is I, again I'll come to that, my same the phrase I would say, it's always we, it's not I, it's
Right.
always we. And then that will again help the team to grow, the
Yes.
bonding will grow, and then the task will be achieved in a, I mean, just very short period of time. The leader must also be, I feel, should play the role of an influencer. A leader should also play the role of an influencer, so that the members of the team gets influenced very easily, that okay, he is my leader, so I also want to adopt these features like him or her. So that I feel these things really help us to achieve to the next step. With a very positive note, these will help us to achieve for the next step. Okay.
Right. Great. Great. So whoever is watching this video, they can follow these tips so that you can channelize your team in a right direction. So now, Manisha, one more thing, like many fresher and professionals, they are trying to become a teacher. And for that, what will you suggest? Is there any training institute is there, or is how they transform their career from fresher to a teacher, or from other professionals to become a teacher?
Okay. Yes, a very good question. As you asked, that teaching as a profession.
It's a noble
Teaching as a
profession, basically.
profession, yes, it's a noble profession. That is, as it has always been said, we celebrate Teachers' Day all
Yeah.
along, all over the globe, and that's celebrated with quite a lot of happiness on the part of the teacher. And I'll tell you this one, that the greatest takeaway for a teacher is the happiness on the part of the student. Though
Right.
it's always said that teaching is a thankless job, we always say, right? Teachers, teaching is a thankless job, especially after this pandemic. Like, we always have been thanking so many other people, but then we teachers only know what we have gone through.
Right,
So
right,
many things, we all old school people, we learned so many new things. We
right,
tried to make ourselves tech savvy.
right.
Within a very short
Exactly.
duration of time, we got into this how to mail, how to got with the attachments in a mail, various kinds of attachments, how to create a link, how to go for a Google form. This was not like, the teachers never thought of all these things
Right.
while using the chalk and duster method. But
Yes.
now we have also become much pro to all these things, right? But yes, as I was saying, that teaching, we say that teaching is a thankless job, but for me, I feel that it is one of the thankful job. Again, going back to our students, students, those who have left school, the institution, say long years, 10 years, 15 years. After that, once again, when you meet the child, for the teacher, the student remains a child all over,
Right.
however old the student becomes.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
then recognizes the teacher and just says hello, and that is the greatest pleasure we get.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking
Even
about the teaching,
even for us also, when we meet our teacher, we feel
yes,
means very respect for that teacher, because they have the make the pillar, and for them only today we are where we are.
where we are, we really thank them deep down the heart. That's very true. So this I've experienced all these years, maybe about 25 years of my teaching experience. This I have felt that nobody can substitute your student. They are the precious possession that you really live with throughout life till the end. Now, as you asked me about the teaching as a career, these days, for becoming a teacher, once you pass school after class 12, you can simply go through the graduation. If you're taking up mainstream subjects, that's a 3 years graduation, or you take up any other stream with 4 years graduation, any degree that you are carrying on with. After that, a B.Ed, Bachelor in Education, is a must. Bachelor in Education, as I said, that when during my time 25 years back, I did it as an integrated B.Ed, BSc B.Ed, or BA B.Ed. These institutes are the prime institutes. There were four these RIEs all over India in four different zones. Now the number has increased. They are preparing the teachers, and this is under NCERT. So
Okay.
for getting into these, they are just taking the students based upon their merit list, the marks that they get in their class 12 plus 2 board examination.
Okay.
All right. But apart from that, if anybody wants to carry on with this B.Ed degree, they can carry it on after their graduation. It's a 2 years degree course. They can get the B.Ed certificate. There are various B.Ed universities which give you the degree. They can do it as a, I mean, for this, what we call the, suppose those who are in service, Those who are
Yeah.
working, they can also go for it, or directly also regular courses also they can go for this B.Ed degree, which is followed by some practice teaching, which is very much necessary, because
Right.
unless and until we face the situation in person in classroom environment, we really don't have this experience. So practice teaching is very much necessary. So
Yeah.
that way, and apart from this, people some people really, they think about going a little ahead. So after B.Ed, they can also go for masters in education for getting into the administrative roles. So they can further go for M.Ed, masters in education. That way,
Okay.
they can carry on. There are several tests, examinations, the CTET, as we know that these are carried out these days. CTET rankings are very valuable, all throughout India for getting government jobs. And teachers are really paid well there. It's not that
Yeah.
always that they are not paid good; they are really paid well there. So
Yeah.
that way,
Now
a person
teachers are
can
paid
sure.
well. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, and for this B.Ed course, is there any entrance exam they have to pass on, or only by their merit marks only that will do? Means class 12
Oh,
marks will do, or is there any joint entrance, or this? Is there any entrance exam? Is there? No.
no, there is
Okay.
no entrance exam as such, but then based on their performance, the percentage of marks they are getting, they can enroll themselves. But B.Ed can be done only after graduation. Only after the graduation degree they can go for a B.Ed. If only for B.Ed they are the students are going for. No
Okay.
entrance
Uh,
test for.
yeah. Any book that you want to suggest to to develop their mindset, to develop their skill as a leadership? Any book that you suggest to candidates like who wants to become the leader or who wants to get into this profile?
Okay. See, I have never read storybooks. Like I have never developed that habit of reading storybooks. But then, as like I keep on reading a lot of articles and journals and like these magazines, as we all read.
Yeah.
That's a part of our reading habit. And these days, e-reading is so much easy and convenient that we can just while traveling also you can just go through, scroll down, and get to know so many things. All right.
Right.
So. As we always have been saying, that leaders should develop some strategic thinking, some innovation, some action. All these things must be there. I can relate to one book, very few books though I have read, but I can relate to one book. There's a book called 48 Laws of Power, though it's not related to teaching as such. But then it's by Robert Greene. He's one of my favorite author. 48
Okay.
Laws of Power. It's a very small book, a very crisp book, but it talks about 48 laws on how you can really rule. How you can
Yeah.
really rule means, it's a very researched book, and it talks about how to get to the top and stay there. That's a very influencing book. So if anybody who wishes to can grab a copy of this, Kindle has a copy of this, so they can grab it and read it. It will really help not only teachers but any leader to stay where they are. A lot of tips are also given. It's a good book, I feel.
Right. And if you are not a habit of reading a book, you can listen also. Nowadays,
Yes, yes,
Audible is also there. So
yes,
audiobooks
yes.
you
So
can
many.
download and you can see. Yeah, great. Great, Manisha, for joining this show. Thank you all. I think our viewers may get many tips and many informative for this from this show. Thank you,
Okay.
Manisha, for joining this.
Thank you so very much. Thank you again for giving me the scope to talk in your show.
Yeah,
Thank you so
actually,
much.
the thing is that at our time, no one was there to guide us. Like when we are completing my graduation, I thought that okay, after my completion of graduation, companies are there who will grab me and give me a position. But in reality, it was different. So I have also started my journey from scratch. Like
Okay, okay.
my journey also, I have started as a developer. Then I become now I'm owner of a company. So
Yeah,
that's a
that's
long
wonderful.
story short. No, so I want to give them the guidance so that they could be like in a right track from the beginning of their journey.
Very true. We need, and these days, we have scope. These kind of scopes are
Yes,
available. During our times, we didn't have this
no,
Google
nothing like
Baba
that.
to share with us all the documents and whatever we need. But it's really, I feel that this is a blessing for all the present generation. Those who can utilize it fruitfully, they will really prosper, utilizing it in many ways. I also
Now
feel
we,
it. So,
I feel very, I mean, very bad. Like when a graduate, say BTech, after completing BTech in computer science, BTech in mechanical job, they join. Everyone has a urge of joining IT industry, so they join as a service engineer or desktop engineer. But they don't know they have got a scope of earning around 20 LPA within next
okay.
3 years. Who
All
will
right.
guide them? So
Very
that is
true.
the reason we are, myself and my partner also, we are doing these shows so that we can aware young generation and even the professionals who are into say in different industry and got a urge of joining IT industry, they can also transform their career.
Very
Nowadays
good.
you can do anything that you want. Only thing
Yes,
is
yes.
that you have to have that passion, you have to have that willingness.
Correct, very correct. So it's great initiative taken by Shah, what the university
Data
that
University.
Shah Data University. It will really be helpful for the young generation coming up. All the best to you and your team, and I'm sure you will be succeeding. And I'll be a part of it soon again.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank
When I
you so
come
much.
to know that you are a certified career coach, then you can definitely help our candidates to
We will.
make them in a right path. Thank
Sure.
you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.